Men, I don't think, want women to be involved in the game at all. It's a man's game, and I think men would like to keep it like that.
Shake most of the way through the game, especially now because he's only just really got back into the first team. He's only just got back into playing football properly, and you can see his daring tackles come back. And I know what he's like. I know he'll put his head in rather than his foot. So then I do get frightened. Yeah.
I watch Paul all the time. If somebody goes in for a tackle and he's on the floor, you know, you're watching him. And then if he gets up and he's running around, I still watch to make sure he's not kidding anybody, you know, that he doesn't have a little limp.
I didn't go to the match because it's hard to get a babysitter. Either watch it on teletext or listen to the radio. I get quite nervous for some reason. I don't know whether it's nervous for Ian, nervous for the team, hoping he'll do well, hoping that we'll win. I always leave housework jobs, like something I don't like doing, to keep me occupied.
Very kindly for Bryson, who's moved across from left to right.
I know that they're either top or second, but apart from that, I really don't know. No, I'm afraid I'm not a fan. Never have been. I've tried. It just really didn't interest me that much at all. Sort of just sit here and wait for Wolf to come in to tell me how they've done and how they haven't done. Where's Daddy Joe? God, he's gone to work. I can't get all fired up and tensed up over the games simply because of the children. Children don't allow your emotions to go with the football game. They need me to be a normal mum every day of the week. Come to Mummy. Please, look at his face.
Every game, I get this rash on my neck. It's just the build-up to the game, and you just want everything to go so well. I used to get dreadful headaches. Just the tension, really.
You do sometimes go through what he's going through because you know that if they lose, it's a bit... you know, like, for instance, he'll come home and he'll be so depressed, it's untrue. He'll go through every single point in his sleep about what he's played, and you've got to go through it as well, because you get the kicks and the bruises in the bed.
And now is an opportunity for Bryce. It's a good ball. Now, a good cross here.
Fans can be quite fickle at times, you know, they can really bring a player down. I remember one instance when I was at a game and Paul was injured and he was on the floor and they were saying, get him off, you know, we don't want him on, get him off, like this. And I stood up worried at what was wrong with Paul. I looked down at John and he was in tears.
John!
Of course, what I hadn't thought of was it was his dad, you know, and they're saying all this about his dad. I mean, it does hurt.
Sheffield United have scored.
Go, go, go!
If somebody had have said at the beginning of the season that Sheffield United would be second in the second division, I would never have believed it. I mean, it's just amazing to think that they're this far ahead, you know, at this stage in the season, and everybody is saying that the bubble's going to burst. You know, every Saturday when they get the result in, people are saying, oh, it won't last, it won't last.
The United King of athletes of renown like
It's difficult if they have lost. You don't know how to approach him. I take it very easy. You know, I just let him come out with what he thinks of the game, how he thinks he's played. I never, ever push. And sometimes we can go through all Saturday and we've not really spoke about the game. You know, he'll bring it up in his own time. But again, it's how you get to know Paul. I know how far to go with him, really. And he soon puts me in my place if I've gone too far.
Football will always come first in Wolf's life. It has to come first. It's his living, it's our means of survival. I have to come second with the children. It always has, ever since I've known Wolf. He's a very professional person and he does put his football first, I'm afraid.
That's an expression. Come on, Frank!
Frank.
He's got a stone.
Through the years of knowing him and learning what it's like, it is more than a job. It's everything. It's everything. Their whole life really revolves around those games. If you lose, you don't go out at night. There's been situations where he's lost, and on a Sunday, to get out of the way because he doesn't want to really be seen anywhere, we've gone as far as Scarborough for the day out, just so we can get away from it.
Short sleeve.
With 7.
3 short.
7. 8.
Just West Wing should be up, shouldn't it? West Wing, just...
Have you got the top there?
No.
Season ticket holders, coach members, and Blades Sheffield members. Is it for the Barnsley match?
Centre.
No, we got one.
It's
A t-shirt. See you later, Mary.
See ya. Hello.
I might have been in here. You got one then? You got one then? You need one.
A few games.
Lynn, he's just asked if we get well paid.
Marvellous.
Oh, that is a joke. Very poor. I don't mind telling them. Pay. Very poor pay.
Why is that then?
Well, perhaps they can't afford to pay us because the players are on such a good salary. Yeah.
You sort it out?
Yeah. Do you want it tomorrow?
No, whenever you can. Put it in the cleaners now if you like.
Why do you want it washing? Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, some of them think they're God's gift to women, but I suppose when they're out and about, a lot of people do think football players, you know, famous.
On the whole, they're all right. Once they get to know you, it's when they come up with the I am a superstar and I am a football, and you can see them in nightclubs, and it's not just United, it's all the players do it. I am a football, and they wait for your little pause. We used to sort of go, wow.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's not a glamorous life. It's quite a hard life. Financially, it's a very good life. There's no glamour involved in it. We don't have a Christmas together. We don't have an Easter together. We don't have long periods of time together. Wolf will work 7 days a week. He might have 4 hours a day off all at once, 4, 5, 6 hours. He might have 2 hours off. You just never know. I can't make plans. You don't know when Fickle's going to be home, if he's going to be home. Who, according to the saying, will find work for idle hands? I've always yearned for stability. I've always wanted stability. It's something that you really can't have in football, but I've always wanted it.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
How many more seasons do I want to have the worry of knowing what's going to happen to the children at school? My children are now coming to the age where they're at senior school. Do I want Wilf to stay in football? Does Wilf want to stay in football? It's very, very difficult. It's a very difficult choice at the moment.
Oh, Joe.
No, full colour birds.
If Ian's away, you've maybe not had a good day with the baby. She's been crying a lot, and I would give anything for my mum to be 5 minutes away, or Ian's mum, and just to be able to go up and have a cup of tea and a good natter. I don't see anybody all day, or I can be in the house for 2 or 3 days and never have seen anybody unless I go out to the shops or go out with the dog. Most people stop and talk to you if you've got a dog or a baby.
Paul and myself, this was when we were engaged before we got married. We were out, I can't remember where we were now, probably out at a pub or something, just having a quiet drink. And there was these 2 fellas across the other side of the room, and they were quite, dishy. They were all right. And I was just talking to Paul, and you can tell when somebody's staring at you. So, I'm talking to Paul, and I can feel, these eyes of these fellas looking. I thought, oh, my goodness, it's really, really getting embarrassing. They're staring all the time. And I'm thinking, it's quite nice, isn't it, to think that somebody's looking at you and staring as much as they were staring. But then, at the end of the night, they came over to Paul and said, "Are you Paul Stancliffe? Could we have your autograph, please?" I was just deflated. And never again now, whenever I go out with Paul, I never, ever think anybody's looking at me. that's just done nothing for my ego at all. Just that's it.
I want something what I call a soft colour.
A soft colour. But along these lines.
Well, I don't mind. Is that the one?
Before I started work, football was my whole life. I didn't feel as if I'd got anything else. I was just there for Paul and football. But since I've started work, there is more. I just love it. I've got a life of my own. It's really great. I've got other interests now, and it does take you away from football. This one that I'm using now is Shimmering Sand. Does this feel all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I was Paul Stancliffe's wife. Now, when I'm at work, he's my husband. They say, "What does husband do?" So you go, "Oh, he's professional footballer." So, "Oh, who is he?" So Paul Stancliffe. "Oh, no, I don't know him." Fine,
John, is that Chinese writing? No. It's English writing.
Do you want me to cook that for you?
No, I'll be all right.
Paul starts on the Thursday, preparing for the match on Saturday. He disagrees with me. However, he likes everything just so. If anything makes him go out of his little sequence, then he doesn't like it. We always have spaghetti bolognese Friday night. He always prepares the spaghetti bolognese. He always listens to the same tape. Phil Collins. Oh, Genesis Wembley concert. Always listens to that every Friday. We always sit round the table every Friday. And then bed very early Friday night. Every Friday night, it has to take a sleeping tablet because he cannot sleep. It's only at night when he thinks about it. Saturday is fine up until him getting to the ground, and then, of course, he starts to get nervous.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Paul.
Right.
Looking nervous. Right, yeah, morning. Afternoon.
Three. £12, please. Come on. £12, please.
Another one there. Is that all right? Another one?
It is.
And the others are through there. Last year, the chairman invited us all up to his office, and we all had champagne up there. That was lovely, but no, we're not allowed in the executive suite or the directors. I don't know very much about that side, I'm afraid.
In this area is the directors, visiting directors, guests and Sheffield United's guests. The ladies' room is separate, which is just the directors' wives.
Football for Sheffield boys today.
And the directors are through into the boardroom. They're all kept separate. They all sit together when they go out to watch the match. It's just at half-time and full-time. They're all segregated, if you like.
If they did win against Watford, I mean, it's another step towards Wembley and a dream of ours.
Ian Bryson went close with a couple of shots, and Tony Agana showing...
There's not a lot of facilities for the wives. We just really look after ourselves.
No, 2 drinks, a chewing gum.
I mean, I just happen to be married to Paul. That's as far as it goes.
Fine.
I don't know why I could be. If a player gets injured while he's playing football, they're very, very slow at letting the wives know. I mean, it's fine if the wife is there. But for example, if a wife isn't there, or if they're playing away, you might not get to know until about 2 or 3 hours after the incident.
Finished work at about 5:30, walked up to the club, got there about 6, and I was stood there till about 7 o'clock waiting for Simon to arrive back. And one of the other players' wives arrived. She said that she'd heard on the radio that Simon had been carried off. Now, she didn't want to say that he'd broken his leg or anything. I was really outside the club from about 6 o'clock till about 9:30, trying to find out exactly what happened. The messages we got relayed were from players who'd rung the wives, who'd rung somebody else to come and tell me. So, of course, the story's going to get more and more and more from it being he's being carried off to being his career's over. I mean, you don't know what to say or what to do.
Nobody considers you to let you know anything, and I think that's very wrong, because all you do is hear it over the radio. You know that they're being stretchered off, but you don't know anything else. And you can't, you're just helpless.
You're not involved in the club whatsoever. No one ever asks about you. They just don't want to know. As far as I see it, I'm a bit of an outcast. I don't really exist as far as the football club's concerned.
We've got a players' lounge that unfortunately, when they were building the stadium, they forgot all about the players. So they had to just put this makeshift players' lounge up. And I'm afraid that's where we are, underneath the stand. But having said that, I mean, we make our own social life, and we have a really, really good social life. But I'd say it's all brought on by us. And when we all go out together, I mean, we have a fantastic time. You know, I just wish there was more of that, because I know other times when the lads are all together and the players and the wives are all together and they all know one another, I think it all helps towards a better club.
You're dropping off at Terry's?
Yeah.
And then you'll come straight into work?
You got everything?
I think so, yeah.
How long is it going to take you then to get to Portsmouth?
It's about 5 hours down there, I think.
So you'll be quite late back?
Yeah, but 11 o'clock Saturday night or something.
Right.
Babe! Bye-bye. Right,
Bye.
see you later. I'll phone tonight.
Okay.
Okay. See you later.
Bye. Is Daddy going away, look? Is Daddy going away in the car?
By the time I finish that.
That's it. Good girl. Oh dear. Good girl.
Hit the woody. He's right where
Yeah.
We've bought a few new players, and most of them cost between 20 and 40,000, which is not a lot of money nowadays in the present transfer market. So a lot of people are considering us misfits.
We want the second goal. We go looking. I mean, Stan, what are you staying back for at the end there? When we got.
Paul's got real bags underneath his eyes, hasn't he? I have to get him some eye gel.
Barnesy marking up there. John Gannon can come and fill the hole. Not one quality ball all afternoon. Enough possession. It was Murder that played with you two up front this afternoon. You did all link up this time, and it was this, that, and the other, and nothing happened. Didn't give it to us. You know, Webbo's played the ball and you Tony's there. What's wrong with a little return ball? And Brad, you're out the game. You're dropping your head. You're just switching off at the drop of that. There's free kicks you drop, giving this silly hand, the ball's in there. You've got to go in there.
They just carry on from school, don't they? You know, just like schoolboys telling them this and telling them that, and you know.
You don't ever answer back to the
No,
teacher?
no.
Well, yes, Wolf is on the transfer list, but we did know this was going to happen, so it hasn't really come as a big surprise. I think we'll be here till the end of the season. I'm pretty sure we'll be here till the end of the season. And what happens after that, I really don't know. It's just wait and see if anything comes up.
Promotion now is such a reality, more so than last time I spoke to you, because there's like only 8 games to go now. But yet, so much can happen. You know, it's just all in their hands, and I just wish I knew what was going to come at the end of the month. I mean, the next 4 weeks, I don't know. The pressure's getting to me, quite honestly.
Sheffield United 0, and a disappointing first half for both sides, due largely to the difficult conditions, a bone hard pitch and a strong swirling wind, which have made skillful play very difficult.
I think this will be my mum. Hello, everyone. All right, thank you. Hello, Mum. Yeah? All right. Thanks. Oh. And how are they playing? Oh, good. Oh, is it? All right, Mum. Bye. 0-0. They're playing very well, but the wind is very bad and it's spoiling the game.
70 minutes gone and disaster struck for United. 10 minutes of defensive suicide have left them 3-0 down after a Garner header on 47 minutes had almost broken the deadlock. Things are break for United as they face a massive uphill task to try and salvage something from this mess. It's Portsmouth 3, United 0. There's 4 minutes to go here at Button Park, and amazingly United have clawed their way back into this game.
Division 2 now, Leeds the leaders, 1. Bradford, 1. Good point for Bradford, that in their fight against relegation. Leeds will stay top, though. 4th Division, Gillingham 0, Torquay 2.
Sorry, they like to keep you in suspense.
United have brought on Webster and Booker in a last-ditch effort to force the equaliser against a Portsmouth side who must wonder when their 3-goal lead has gone. Time's running out here, but United are certainly throwing everything at Portsmouth, looking for the goal which will give them a precious promotion point.
Millwall 1, Manchester City 1. Nottingham Forest 1. Tottenham Hotspur 3. League Division 2. Blackburn Rovers 2. Plymouth Argyle 0.
Yeah, they've lost 3-2.
West Ham United 2.
Which isn't
Portsmouth 3.
not the score that we wanted. 2. And it looks, what I was looking at, it looks like everybody else has got the results they want. So, I mean, it's brought it much tighter now.